Hey guys, happy Friday. I hope you're all okay. You've been doing lots of good learning this week. And yeah, it's been really rainy yesterday on Thursday. It was really horrible, wasn't it? It was lots and lots and lots of rain, lots of flooding everywhere, I believe. So I hope you all kept safe and you're all well at home, keeping washing your hands, keeping safe, doing lots of learning for us to make sure that you guys are super ready for next year. So today is our last English lesson of the week, and as I said yesterday, we're going to be focusing on the War of the Titans myth, and we are going to have a little quiz, so that's really exciting. So, shall we get on then? Right. So today is Friday. Oh, sorry, rainbow thing. Today is Friday, the 19th of June, and it's lesson 5 for myths and legends. You're going to need pencil or pen, paper, and you will need to refresh your memory on the War of the Titans myth that we read yesterday, and that was the lesson 4 in the myths booklet. Okay, so make sure you've got all of that ready for today's lesson. There isn't anything for today specifically, but do make sure you've got the myths booklet from yesterday. So pause the video to make sure you have everything ready. As I said yesterday, you know what you usually need, so you should have it ready now. So today's lesson, you'll be able to retell the story of the War of the Titans. You'll be able to recall information about the War of the Titans. You'll be able to write a myth from another person's point of view. And you will be able to use punctuation correctly that you should be using for year 5. Okay, so your full stops, your commas, you might have some exclamations, you might have some rhetorical questions. You should be using capital letters for proper nouns, so names and places. That should be our standard now, okay? And I know that you guys can do that. So pause the video while you write down the date and today's LI. So, quiz time. I should have really put like another slide in. So it said quiz time and then the first question. So, I am going to ask some different questions and we'll ask a question and then the next slide will be the answer. Okay, so I want you to work really hard to try and refresh your memory and really think about the answers. There's no trick questions. It's all what we've been learning about this week, so I know you'll be extra good at it. But you really do need to focus on learning all the knowledge that we've been going through. So that's why we're just going to do like a little recap quiz at the end of the week. So, question number 1. In what year can we date back myths and legends to in Greek civilization? So, what year can we date back myths and legends in Greek civilization? Pause the video if you need a second to write down the answer. Okay, you should have got 1000 BC. If you put over 3000 years ago as well, that'd be super. And you can have a bonus point for that, but you must have 1000 BC as your main answer. That is the answer to the question, not anything else. Question number 2. Why do we tell the myths and legends today? Why do we tell the myths and legends today? Pause the video while you write down your answer. You don't need to really write in full sentences, but make sure you know your answer and why you've chosen it. Okay, I'm going to the answer now. We tell myths and legends today because they are fascinating. It doesn't hold any information or facts for us, but it does interest us. It does have a lot of fascinating stories that are told in it. Well done if you got that right. Give yourself another tick. Question number 3. Who learnt a lot from the Greeks? Who learnt a lot from the Greeks? Pause the video while you write down your answer. The answer is, well done if you got the Romans. Do you remember the Romans learnt a lot about Greek civilization and they took on board a lot of their ideas? The Greeks influenced the Romans, and yeah, we still have these things today, like we still use the Greek and Roman names for our planets. We still use the Greek calendar that Julius Caesar created. Okay, next question. I've lost count of what question I'm on, but it's the next one. What was Poseidon the god of? What was Poseidon the god of? Have a think. Pause the video, write down your answer. Hopefully you said Poseidon was the god of the sea. Well done if you said that. I hope they haven't been too hard, these questions, but I know you're going to be working hard, and it is only our first week working together, so you're going to get to know the structures that we'll be doing, okay? So well done if you're keeping up and managing to cope with all this. Your next question, I think, is what personality trait could you describe Aphrodite as being? Now this, I think I've worded this a bit weirdly, but how could you describe Aphrodite? Not how she looks, but how she behaves. I couldn't really work out how to ask this question, so I hope you understand what I'm trying to ask. Don't worry if you don't understand it. Okay, pause the video if you need an extra second or two. I said Aphrodite was known to be argumentative. Oh dear, I did have an extra full stop there, I do apologise. She was known to be argumentative. She argued with her lots of other people, didn't she? The other goddesses. Yeah, she was known to be argumentative. Okay, what is a gorgon? Now this is quite a hard question. You're going to have to think really hard about this, but what is a gorgon? Pause the video while you write down your answer. So a gorgon is a creature which can turn all those who look at them into stone. So for example, if I was a gorgon and somebody, no idea who, looked at me, I would turn them into stone. Don't know who I'd want to turn into stone. None of you guys. I would hate to turn you lot into stone. Well done if you got that one right. That was a bit tricky. So, I would like you to have a little bit of a think. And if you haven't done this already, I would like you to do this today. And I would like you to create a family tree for Zeus, Cronus, Poseidon, all of these people, Rhea. Create your family tree. So you'd have Uranus and Rhea at the top, and then who did they give birth to? Do you remember? Yep, it was Kronos. And then who did Kronos marry? In fact, it wasn't Rhea at the top, it was Uranus at the top, then Rhea and Kronos, and then we had the three brothers. Were there any sisters? Have a think. Really make a family tree. You could draw pictures of the different gods with them. That would look really good. Be a little bit artistic, bit of chill time to work out. This will really help with the knowledge that you'll need for the rest of this unit. So you will need to pause the video in order to do this, but this is just like a mini task, okay? So you're more than welcome to listen to the rest of the video, and then at the end of the video there's a list of tasks to do, so you can go back to the family tree then. So I'm going to go to the reading booklet. So we know how to get to it. I don't need a rainbow hide and seek hunt. You can have a hide and seek hunt if you guys want. Online learning, we know this drill. Dismiss. Oh, doesn't want to dismiss, but okay. Year 5, and we know it's lesson 4. So we're going to reread this. Now I really want you to pay close attention to how Kronos is feeling in this. His point of view, how he feels. In the beginning, there was heaven, Uranus, and earth, Gaia. They had 3 sets of children. First were the Titans, giant human-like gods led by Kronos. The second were enormous one-eyed creatures called the Cyclops. Uranus feared that they would overthrow him as the king. So he imprisoned them in the centre of the earth. Gaia and Kronos felt Uranus was too unjust and joined forces to overthrow them. But Kronos' own reign did not get off to the best start. After being overthrown by his son, Uranus prophesied that Kronos would be overthrown by his own son too. So Kronos decided to eat his children before they could overthrow him. He did not want to meet the same fate as his father before him. After a while, Kronos' wife Rhea, whose children had all been eaten by her husband, decided enough was enough. When her last child Zeus was born, she hid him and tricked Kronos into eating a stone dressed in baby clothes instead. Zeus grew up safe and sound far away from Kronos, and when he was fully grown, returned home to overthrow his father and fulfill Uranus' prophecy. He began by freeing his siblings from Kronos' stomach. Grateful for being saved, his giant siblings joined him in the war against Kronos. The Cyclops made weapons for Zeus and his brothers, Poseidon and Hades. For Poseidon they made a trident. For Hades they made a helmet of invisibility. To Zeus they gave the fearsome thunderbolt, and so the war began. But Zeus and Kronos' armies were too evenly matched. The struggle was so fierce, and the fighting so furious, that it raged on and on and on. Zeus's mighty thunderbolts from the sky struck Titan after Titan, but still the Titans fought on. Atlas's massive army crushed god after god after god, but still the gods fought on. The almighty battles between the gods and the Titans raged on and on until the war had lasted for 10 years. Then finally, Zeus had seen enough. He unleashed his full power, blinding light and deafening thunder filling the sky. The heat from his thunderbolts threatened to set the whole world ablaze. Zeus's siblings hurled boulders 100 at a time at the Titans. This assault was too much for the Titans to bear. Although the Titans were both massive and massively strong, the gods were immortal, all-powerful, and in the end proved undefeatable. Victorious Zeus cast the Titans out of heaven and banished them to the Tartarus, the lowest region of the underworld. Zeus and his siblings took their place on Mount Olympus. Zeus and his brothers then cast lots to see which should rule the air, which the sea, and which the under the earth. And so Zeus became the king of heaven, Poseidon ruled the waves, and Hades ruled the realms of the dead. Okay, so we should know the story by now. Now, let me open a new one. There we go. So, we should have the date, and I'm not going to write that. I'm just going to get on with writing. So, your challenge is you are going to write this myth in your own words, but, okay, we're not going to copy it. It's not going to be from the same person's point of view. It's going to be Kronos' point of view. So, to start it, I'm going to show you this. Where are you? Are you there? Where's my face? So, here, oh dear, here it gives us a really good idea of how to start. So, we need to start the story with the beginning. So, instead of going in the beginning, how could we start it? We could go a long time ago, over 3,000. In fact, I like to write words 3,000 years ago. My dad and my mum had 3 sets of children. We weren't your ordinary children. Instead, there were Titans, which were led by me. Do you see how I'm changing it? How I'm using the War of the Titans original myth to help me write my own perspective. Remember, I am Kronos. You are Kronos. That is who you are. That is who you're writing about. From your point of view, your son is going to fight you. Your son is going to tear open your stomach. It's going to slash open your stomach and is going to rescue his siblings that you have eaten. Do you see how I do this? They also had Cyclops. They were scary looking creatures. Do you see how I'm really making the reader feel something? Now, I'm going to finish off writing this paragraph for you. You can use my paragraph, that's fine, or you can create your own. So, Dad was worried that he could no longer be king because his children would get him off the throne. Do you know what he did? Now that's a good rhetorical question. He banished the Cyclops. Where did he banish them to? To the middle of the earth. However, I did not agree with what he did. It was unfair. Do you see how I've written it? Let's reread our paragraph. A long time ago, over 3,000 years ago, my dad and my mum had 3 sets of children. We weren't your ordinary children. Instead, there were titans, which, led by me, that doesn't make sense, which were really important to reread your writing. Even I need to do that. They also had Cyclops. They were scary-looking creatures. Dad was worried that he could no longer, see what I mean? We have to really reread our writing, be king because his children would get him off the throne. That's not how we spell throne. There we go. Do you know what he did? He banished the Cyclops to the middle of the earth. However, I did not agree with what he did. It was unfair. Okay, I want you to carry on. Tell me the story of the Titans from Kronos' point of view. How was he feeling? Was he scared? Was he worried? Now, I really want you to use... let me put my bubble over there. This. So, can you see? This helps us here to tell us what we need to write about. Use the story. Write it in your own words, but you are Kronos. Remember to make the reader feel something, okay? I am so looking forward to reading your writing. Don't forget to send it in to yr5@grange.harrow.sch.uk. And I can't wait to read your writing. Have a lovely, lovely, lovely weekend, guys. And I am so excited to read your writing. See you later. Bye.